Tommy Hilfiger.
Now it's time to put an end to all of false talk. Want to know the real story? You got it.
The truth comes out next.
So today, for the very first time in Oprah show history, Tommy Hilfiger is here, and we're setting the record straight, once and for all. So let's start with the email that's going around. Here's what it says. It says that I'm sure many of you watched the recent taping of the Oprah Winfrey Show, where her guest was Tommy Hilfiger. And on the show, Oprah asked him if he had said, quote, "If I had known African Americans, Hispanics, Jews, and Asians would buy my clothes, I would not have made them so nice. I wish these people would not buy my clothes, as they are made for upper-class white people." His answer to Oprah was a simple yes when she asked him, and she then immediately asked him to leave her show. That's the rumor. And when you first heard it, Tommy, what did you think?
I didn't believe it. I thought it was crazy. And friends of mine said they'd heard the rumor. I said, it's crazy. There's no, that can't be. I was never on the Oprah show. I would never say that.
Yeah.
And all my friends and family who know me and people who work with me and people who have grown up with me said that's crazy.
All right, so you just saw that clip. That is the first designer that I do not F with. And a little background about that. So, I've been wearing fashion since I was little. Since I was not born, but since I was little. And when I was in middle school, I heard this rumor. And I decided I'm not going to be wearing Tommy Hilfiger anymore. So prior to that, I was wearing Tommy Hilfiger. I probably remember shopping at, living in New York, Macy's, you know, stores like that. And you could buy Tommy Hilfiger. I want to say TJ Maxx, Marshalls. So I did wear Tommy Hilfiger. But when this came out, and I don't even remember how I found out, but I was a middle school young female. So what's that like? You're like, what, 9 years old to, let's say 9 to 12. I decided to consciously not wear this brand anymore because I don't support racist brands. I give them one opportunity to do something crazy in a racist way against black people specifically, and you're not getting a second chance because, quite honestly, these brands know what they're doing. They're following the money. And when you follow the money, you'll be smiling in that ethnicity's face. You'll say, oh, I have black friends. You'll say all the things that make it watered down.
I mean, look, Russell Simmons came to me as a friend. He said, Tommy, I really need help. I want to start a brand. Can you help me? I helped him start Fat Farm. A guy by the name of P. Diddy came to me when he was Puff Daddy. He said, Tommy, I want to start this brand called Sean John. I set him up. I helped him start his whole brand.
Deep in your heart, you might really be a racist. Now, do I know that for sure? No, I do not. Because I only have what's online to go off of. I only have my personal experience to go off of. So you can very well disagree with me and believe that he is not a racist, but that does not negate what has transpired over the years, even before I was born. So I was born in 1990. He started his brand in 1985, but he's been around since 1969, with his first store being the People's Place. And you come from, you know, an Irish background, coming over to America, looking to find a better life. And the last people you're thinking about as a European person is black people. So let's just be clear, okay? That's why you'll see in the interview, he's saying, oh, that's crazy. He's saying that's crazy, but not the first sentence is, oh, I did not say that. he says, I did not say that, like 3 sentences in, but that doesn't negate how you probably really feel. And, you know, there's articles that I'll be showing which show that there's no pinpoint of the person or email that has said this or claims to have said this. Everyone believes it is a rumor, it is a lie, as she has stated. But when you get that energy and you feel like somebody's bullshitting you, that's hopefully what you're reading between the lines and watching this video. So I really want to be clear. Also looking at his campaigns, if you do have a diverse and people's type of, you know, company, why do you only show a lot of European people? Why is there sprinkled in 1 or 2 black people or 1 or 2 Asian people? So that's very telling as well. And he makes a point in the rest of this interview where he says,
it has also been contrary to what my business motive was in the beginning. I wanted to sell a lot of clothes to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sell a lot of clothes to a lot of people.
Well, now this is what's interesting about the rumor. A decade ago, I heard it was just black people. Now it's expanded to Hispanics, Asians, and Jews. And
I love being here today because I love the fact that I have the chance now to squash this, to dispel it, and to tell the truth.
to tell the truth. Has it hurt you?
It hurt my integrity because at the end of the day, that's all you have. And if people are going to challenge my honesty and my integrity and what I am as a person, it hurts more than anything else. Forget the money that it has cost me. Forget anything else.
Because has it cost you money?
It's cost me money, but it's cost me a heartache.
Yeah.
You know, I have 4 children. My children would come home from school and say, Daddy, I go to school with a Jewish boy who says you don't like him.
Yeah.
And no, it's not true.
Well,
and they're out telling kids, no, it's not true. No, Tommy's not that way, or my dad's not that way.
But that's not the premise, and no disrespect to Jewish people, but we need to stay to the topic. It was racism stemming from black people because black people skyrocketed his brand. Black hip hop artists skyrocketed his brand. Nobody else of color, and I'll say that loosely because we're talking about black people and I'm a black person, was, you know, he was a competitor, so to speak, to Ralph Lauren. That's why the ad that he first had was kind of giving homage, but indirectly trying to compete. So just be mindful of that, and don't just take what somebody's saying because they want to apologize now, or they want to make it seem like they didn't say it, or there's no trail of them saying it. But clearly it tarnished his heart, as he said. He didn't say it didn't tarnish his pockets.
Has hip hop hurt your brand or helped it?
Look, it propelled my brand into heights that I never dreamed I would ever reach.
It was also said that you didn't like the way hip hop was wearing your clothing because back then everything was big and fitted and you made things for elite white people, is what it said.
Well, when I started my brand, I was 18 years old, and we opened a shop called People's Place. It was for the people. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted my brand to be offered to a broad range of people, everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wanted to build a big lifestyle brand globally for everybody.
So you never said never said anything like that?
Everybody said that, or the rumor was that I was on Oprah, and I said that if I had known certain people would wear my clothes, I never would have been a designer, and I never would have made quality clothes or whatever.
And then they said that Oprah kicked you off the set.
That's not true. Oprah invited me after she heard the rumor because we're friends, and she said, Tommy, I know you really well. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, come on the show. Let's dispel this rumor. And she said it's a BFL, a big fat lie.
Did it hurt your business? Did it hurt your business? She disappeared for a moment.
My business continued to grow.
He's still lucrative. He's a billionaire, you know what I'm saying? And he was actually funded by an Indian entrepreneur who had a textile manufacturing company. So that money was basically leveraged by an already established entity that owned, you know, I guess they had shares of the Vanderbilt and so forth. So just do your research when you do, like, you know, want to look into these things. I'm doing it as I'm making this video or prior to this video, but that's something to really analyze, because we have to just stop being so gullible and believing that these European brands are all inclusive when they definitely did not start that way. They definitely did not start that way. I don't care who wants to debate me. Most of these European high-end or premium or contemporary or modern contemporary or bridge or what have you, they look at, oh, there's black people wearing it, they're high consumers, there's an industry of hip hop and rap, and they're very influential to the younger youth, so I can make money there. And that's exactly what he did. There's literally the articles that I'm gonna show of him saying, I struck gold. Yeah, so let's get back into the video.
Hello, I'm Bob Trout. I've got a story here that I think is big, really big, because it's bound to have a terrific impact on business. I'm talking about a new market, a big new market, millions upon millions of new prospects with $15 billion to spend. That's right, I said $15 billion. That's a lot of money, isn't it? The surprising thing is that it's a fresh market, still full of opportunities. It grew up so fast, got so big in a hurry, that few of us realize its scope. Now, these days, nobody's likely to pass up chances to sell. And yet right here in our own front yard, there's a neglected market. There's money waiting to be spent. To get the story of this market, to be able to tell you the secret of selling the Negro, we did a lot of digging. We talked to leading businessmen, to customers, and to salesmen. We went to Washington, D.C. We set up cameras and other key points around the nation.
We set up cameras and other key points around the nation.
And out of this all, there emerged a story, the story of a new market. Yes, this is the market we're talking about, the new Negro family. Their name is Wells or Wilson, Smith or Brown or Alexander or Breen. They live in Chicago, in Atlanta or New York, in Detroit, St. Louis, Los Angeles, any one of 1,000 cities and towns. All over the country, families such as this are enjoying new prosperity. They have new interests, new standards of living, a buying power they've never enjoyed before. They're good prospects for practically all types of goods and services.
There are good prospects for practically all types of goods and services.
The truth of the matter is that the Negro lives pretty much the same as other folks. He buys pretty much the same way, too.
I don't like to do business with Negroes. They're drifters. You can't keep track of them.
Yes, although a lot of people think that way, the truth is that 1 out of every 3 Negro families living in cities today owns its own home. That figure comes directly from the United States Bureau of Census.
Maybe so, but Negroes are poor credit risks.
Not more of a credit risk than any other group. Actually, the Negro home buyer meets his payments faithfully, often more faithfully than other race groups in the same economic level. That's the information we got from people who ought to know, the National Association of Real Estate Boards.
Well, maybe, but I've always heard that Negroes buy shoddy, poor quality merchandise.
No, it's just the other way around. According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group.
Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group.
You see, there are a lot of confused notions about the Negro customer. But when you dig right down and find out about them, they just don't hold water. Negroes own homes. They meet their payments faithfully. They buy good brands of merchandise. So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits?
So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits?
Here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, some amazing facts and figures about this new market have been uncovered. For a first-hand report, we would like to take you directly to the United States Department of Commerce to hear this story from the Secretary of Commerce himself. Here is the Honorable Sinclair Weeks, the Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
In the Department of Commerce, we are constantly alert to trends that mean a healthier national economy, better business for the nation as a whole. Recently, we have been interested in a rising young market, one that represents a huge potential for goods and services. I'm referring to the new Negro market. The tremendous buying power of this group is backed, of course, by an increased earning power. The average Negro family's income is at a record high. In fact, since 1939, it has increased more than the average income of all other Americans. Just take a look at a few figures. An official Department of Commerce report shows that at least 1/3 of the Negroes living in cities earn from $2,000 to $5,000 a year. Today, the average Negro wage earner brings home a paycheck 4 times larger than the one he collected in 1939. As a whole, the Negro market has a total income of about $15 billion every year. And after taxes, Negro families still have many billions of dollars to spend. Here is a buying power that cannot help but have a tremendous effect on our national economy and on business prosperity in general. When these dollars are spent for a wide range of goods, services, and employment, business everywhere is bound to feel the impact.
Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why? Well, listen to what this customer is thinking.
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise, the Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price. The Negro buys by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale. These are the keys to selling the Negro customer.
So say you are one of the people that disagree with my anecdote and opinion about this and background that I've provided thus far. Here is a article from the company that owns the Tommy Hilfiger group. And essentially, if you want to invest, because I think that would be the wise thing, and own some shares of this business because you spend your money there, their ticker symbol on the stock market is PVH, and they are considered, one of the largest American brands. So just be wise and spend your money accordingly.